The St. Kitts Nevis Information Service is pleased to present Current Speeches. In this edition of Current Speeches, we hear remarks presented by the Honourable Richard Skeritt in his capacity as Minister of Tourism and International Transport. Minister Skeritt's remarks was presented on 21st March at the National Consultation on the Sustainable Tourism Development Strategy for St. Kitts and Nevis. The presentation is 20 minutes.
I want to thank you for being here to review the results, really, which is why you're here today, the results of the research which has been conducted, as the Permanent Secretary said, over the past few weeks by Dr. Oliana Poon, a leading international consultant who provides innovative solutions for travel and tourism. Allow me to say thank you to all who have taken the time to meet with her and with Novelet Morton, or her able assistant, over the past few weeks in the information gathering phase of this strategic planning exercise. I also take this opportunity to say thank you to Dr. Poon herself, very intense and ready to go to work this morning, as you can tell, and who has not stopped working since she hit the ground several weeks ago. I want to thank her for the tremendous volume of work she has achieved, including exceeding the target that we had set. I thought it was an insurmountable target that we had set for her of meeting personally with 200 individual stakeholders. I believe she reached somewhere close to 250. I believe we are all here today because we have a common objective: to grow tourism expenditure in St. Kitts and Nevis. Sounds a little mercenary, but that's really what it is. We're here because we recognize that whatever we are doing, whatever we have achieved in the past, we can do better. And we believe that we can do even better if we work together. Our ministry has always practiced what we preach. Not always done it perfectly, but have always attempted. We preach that our government is committed to listening to all of our stakeholders and working in partnership with the private sector to grow tourism for the benefit of all Kittitians and Nevisians. Tourism, as you know, has become a significant sector in our economy. We conservatively estimate that tourism drives more than a quarter of the national economy today. It would even be more significant when you consider that sizable parts of the construction, agriculture, education, real estate, financial services, and information technology sectors are driven by the demand of tourism-related consumers. Tourism as an industry engages all sectors of the economy. Of course, I don't have to tell you that. But we need to be reminded that it benefits Kittitians and Nevisians from all walks of life: engineers, architects, hotels, resorts, property developers, taxi operators, tour guides, farmers, bankers, masons, painters, doctors, lawyers, restaurateurs, housekeepers, security, electricians, divers, fishermen, craft, and more recently, monkey vendors. And of course, our little more experienced aloe rub vendors. It feeds from the expenditure of visitors who come here for recreation or for business, including hotel guests, villa owners, international students, or shorter-term visitors on yachts or cruise ships. The most desirable individuals and groups in each market segment must be the target of our strategy. The history of St. Kitts as a formidable tourism destination spans a period of more than 40 years. You just need to ask Gregory Pereira in the back there about his time as a little boy when this place was just becoming a little guest house. However, tourism-related developments and growth in St. Kitts since the opening of the Marriott Resort in 2003 and the opening of the St. Kitts Scenic Railway and the closure of the sugar industry in 2005 have been unprecedented in importance, scale, and economic impact. The results of a previous tourism study conducted in 2006 by a Boston-based research firm, the OTF Group, were the first such results that helped define our target visitor. It also identified those product attributes which our target visitor seeks in our destination. However, much has happened in the world since 2006. I don't need to tell you that, but just a reminder anyhow, including dramatic technological changes which have ushered in the rise of social media. Yes, social media was not a factor when we wrote our last strategy. The unprecedented global economic recession that is only now showing a modest recovery was not envisaged in 2006. It has forced the travel and tourism industry to wake up to the global competitiveness of our industry and the need for added value to the consumer. The recent corporate consolidations and operational shifts in both the airlift and cruise industries have also impacted potential consumers' travel decisions since we conducted our last major strategic planning in 2006. It was a necessary and timely decision for us to update our tourism strategy with the engagement of Dr. Oliana Poon, a dynamic and highly professional Caribbean woman who operates globally at the highest level in her field. It was the research results in 2006, though, which led to our decision to shift the balance towards targeting the upscale market, away from the mass market, and going after the more affluent and discerning stay-over destination traveler as the most desirable target match for Ireland's key attributes of nature, culture, heritage, and a genuine welcoming people. We did this in order to grow both the per capita and the total incomes from our tourism arrivals. One essential area for fueling tourism growth, of course, is airlift. Therefore, we planned and executed a systematic build-out of air bridges to key international airport hubs and targeted markets, resulting in significant air service increases. In this regard, we introduced and steadily increased non-stop flights by American Airlines from Miami and JFK. We also added non-stop service by Delta from Atlanta, renegotiated the non-stop service by US Airways, contracted direct service by British Airways from London, and secured seasonal non-stop service by Air Canada from Toronto. As a result, the number of total scheduled incoming airline seats into St. Kitts from North America alone more than doubled from approximately 60,000 seats in 2005 to 130,962 seats in 2012. This is a phenomenal achievement, often taken for granted by most, at a difficult time for the airline industry. According to the most recent airport exit survey conducted in November last year, the passengers that these airlines are bringing are more affluent, they're spending more, and are more satisfied with our product. Average per passenger per day spend of stay-over visitors was US $154 in 2011 as compared to $196 in 2012. Average income of stay-over visitors was also up from $134,000 to $142,000 over the same period. 65% of our visitors have household incomes of over $100,000, and 25% have household incomes of over $200,000. In addition, the satisfaction of stay-over visitors was up across all 6 product touch points, with the greatest percentage increase in satisfaction with the RLB airport. That was quite a task, and I'm very proud of it. Up 15% satisfaction with restaurants, and with shops up 8.8%. 8.8% with restaurants and 8.7% with shops. And guess what? The good news. Satisfaction with hotels up 6.3%. The hotels are waking up to the fact that we have to do better at delivering service. Satisfaction with taxi operators was up 2.5%, and satisfaction with activities and tours was up 0.7%. We have also achieved outstanding results in the growth and development of our cruise sector. Currently, we are projecting to pass the 650,000 passenger mark for the upcoming season, and then go beyond 700,000 passengers in 2014-2015. A recent study conducted by US-based research firm BREA, B-R-E-A, Business Research and Economic Advisors, confirmed that cruise passenger arrivals to St. Kitts have increased more than 400% between 2006 and 2012, as compared to an average increase of just 13% throughout the Caribbean. BREA also reports considerable increases in cruise tourism expenditures and satisfaction, placing St. Kitts among the highest rated destinations in the entire Caribbean. The most dramatic increases over the 6-year period of that BREA study were in direct cruise tourism spending, which increased nearly tenfold from $6.7 million US injected into the economy to $70.6 million, more than double the growth rate shown throughout the Caribbean. Average per passenger spend has steadily increased from $57.40 in the 2005-2006 cruise year, which at the time was 40% below the regional average, to $109.90 last season when the study was conducted again, putting it 14% above the Caribbean average. Quite a turnaround, and that didn't happen by accident. Total spend on taxi services in the same period increased from US $449,283 in 2006 to US $2.01 million in 2012, not including the use of taxi vehicles for prearranged island tours. For the 2011-2012 cruise year, results of the BREA study show that St. Kitts now ranks #2 in the Caribbean in passenger satisfaction with the overall visit, and #2 in passengers reporting that their visit to St. Kitts met or exceeded their expectations. In addition, the destination ranked at #3 in the Caribbean in passenger satisfaction with their shore excursions, at #4 in average expenditure per passenger, and #6 in total expenditure in the economy. In addition, cruise passenger satisfaction with their overall visit increased, with St. Kitts moving from #6 in 2006 to #2 in 2012. We've also been making significant progress in developing the luxury segment of the tourism product in order to appeal to the more upscale traveler, while simultaneously broadening the range of our product offering. That is why private and corporate jet arrivals have risen significantly recently, and that is why a private jet terminal at RLB International Airport is now in the final stages of construction. Yacht arrivals are also on the rise, up from a total of 285 calls in 2011 to a total of 485 calls in 2012, nearly doubling over the one-year period. But most importantly, the average tonnage size of visiting yachts has also increased, reflecting the interest that the luxury yacht sector is beginning to show in St. Kitts and Nevis as a future yachting destination. I believe you're all already well aware of the several high-end mixed-use resort facilities that are in various stages of planning or build-out, including, of course, some of which are represented here, all aimed at attracting a more upscale destination traveler. Demonstrating a growth in awareness of our island among potential travelers in target markets, St. Kitts is currently ranked at #2 in a list of the 16 best Caribbean vacations and #4 in a list of the 12 best islands in the world by US News and World Report. Last year, St. Kitts was named one of 5 Caribbean islands to discover now by MSNBC. It was also named one of the top 12 spots that should be on your list for 2012 by Caribbean Travel and Life magazine. And the island's Brimstone Hill Fortress National Park was named one of 10 great places to explore the world's best kept secrets by USA Today. I can go on and on. St. Kitts was also named a top destination for 2011 by AOL Travel and British Airways. And in social media, St. Kitts Tourism now maintains a position as the #2 most influential Caribbean tourist board online. We're now doing over 100,000 visits to our website every month. Clearly then, I don't need to convince you any further that our tourism growth has been significant in recent years, even in the midst of the worst global recession in history. But most importantly, all this growth in tourism has had a significant positive impact on our local economy. In addition to having certified over 200, and I repeat, over 200 new taxi operators to accommodate the rise in demand, dozens of other jobs have been created in the numerous restaurants, attractions, and tours that now punctuate our tourism product. In fact, according to the most recent World Travel and Tourism Commission's annual economic impact study, tourism's total contribution to employment in St. Kitts is approximately 6,000 jobs, or roughly 24.6% of overall employment. Further, tourism's total direct and indirect contribution to the GDP of the Federation was estimated at EC dollars 501.6 million, or 25.9% of the GDP. I am of the view that this still doesn't truly reflect what is happening, because the measurements here have not been done to the extent and to the detail that it deserves. But in short, my point is that tourism is creating jobs and bringing money into the local economy and helping us to transform our economy as it happens. The good news is that provided that we continue to approach the growth of our tourism sector in a strategic manner, we have every reason to remain optimistic that these economic numbers will continue to climb. For the first time in history, international tourist arrivals exceeded the 1 billion mark in 2012, while the UN World Tourism Organization, UNWTO, reports growth rates in expenditure abroad from our primary source markets of 7% from the USA and Canada, 7% growth in travel abroad from the USA and Canada, and 5% growth from the UK, also in 2012. Further, the UNWTO predicts a continued robust growth in international tourism for 2013, and various sources have cited rebounding traveler sentiment and intent to travel. That's a dangerous thing, because all of us here intend to travel. We just can't all afford to go to where we want and when we want. But it is rebounding, and very, very rapidly over the next 6 months, it's predicted. Unfortunately, too many of us in St. Kitts and Nevis still do not understand the real value of tourism. All the evidence of the benefits of our tourism growth is now all around us. Our government, though, if I can say so myself, is very aware that tourism is also a dynamic industry, and from time to time it is severely challenged. Challenged by wars, by terrorism, by disease, by climate change, natural disasters, and of course by weak economic conditions in our tourism generating source markets. We at the Ministry of Tourism, therefore, recognize that our work on behalf of tourism stakeholders in this industry cannot be business as usual. Today's tourists are more experienced, more discerning, and more demanding, while at the same time our own citizens have become more conscious of the risks involved in making unsustainable tourism-related growth decisions. Technological changes have also transformed the way we look for, book, pay for, and even enjoy travel opportunities. Altogether, these changes at the international level have forced destinations everywhere to adjust our methods, to reinvent ourselves, or face the risk of falling too far behind the competition. And we know that so well in St. Kitts now. But some of us simply just don't know how to do it. Dr. Poon is going to help us look forward at how, why, when, and where. The focus of our proposed tourism strategy on people and the planet is a welcome one. It truly reflects the vision and approach of our government, a vision that involves the people of St. Kitts and Nevis as the main beneficiaries of economic development. Philosophically, our government is already committed to partnering with the private sector and to facilitating the development of local talent and skills that will allow our people to be meaningfully engaged in the tourism sector. Our new tourism strategy must therefore encourage all parties to value, invest in, recognize, respect, and reward our most important resource, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Our government also recognizes that growth cannot be willy-nilly, that we must care and conserve our environment, because in so doing, not only will our visitors have a quality experience, but their consumption habits will provide enormous benefits to our own future generations. The infrastructure and environment that we seek to put in place for our visitors must therefore also be suitable for empowering our own people and for improving the quality of life for all of our citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, contrary to what some may have been led to believe in the past, tourism is not a one-man show. Tourism involves all of us, and we need to work together, hand in hand, if we are to strengthen our vision and achieve greater success and sustainability. That is why, today, I am particularly pleased that we're able to engage you again, our valuable stakeholders, in this semi-final stage of developing our tourism strategy and action plan for the future. I look forward to a very productive day of deliberations and exchanges, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you to make the new tourism strategy a reality. Thank you very much.